Right now it's time for Let's Play and Chat, and since this episode is kind of an homage to Sega and to their Genesis era and their 16-bit era, I would say even the Astro Boy Omega Factor kind of fits in there. It would have been a great Sega Genesis game. Let's take a look at the Sega Genesis Classics collection. We're going to start a little bit with Altered Beast. Blake is going to join me. Remember, if you could help us out with capitalizing your comments or questions or whatever, we'll try to get to them. But chat along with us. Let's check out some of these games, and I'll show you the interface and all that stuff as well. Here is Altered Beast, and let's start. This is the game where you become a beast. This was a launch title for the Sega Genesis. I paid probably $80 for this one when I bought my Sega Genesis in 1989.
Hi everyone.
And hello, Blake.
And this is a precursor to Golden Axe, right?
I don't know if it's, it might have been some of the same developers, but there was an arcade version of this, and one of the things that Sega really kind of touted was that the Genesis was going to be as close to an approximation of the arcade kind of scene as video game consoles had ever been, and they were accurate with that. I love that the move with this guy is he punches them in the balls, which is amazing.
I remember when we did the Golden Axe documentary, we interviewed the creator of Golden Axe, and he talked about how this was sort of the precursor to Golden Axe.
Okay.
Golden Axe was meant to be a spiritual successor to this.
Gotcha.
I think. I could be wrong.
Okay, gotcha.
I'm pretty sure though.
All right. I don't have all of my factoids in front of me, but I gotta get to the wolf, right? I gotta. So you have to get 3 of the power balls.
Do they have?
All about balls.
Do they have the little dwarf in this?
I don't think so.
That's Golden Axe, yeah.
Yeah, I remember beating this game when I bought it for $80. You're welcome, Sega. And never playing it again. It was like, okay, I beat it. And it didn't hold a lot of fascination for me. Golden Axe was way cooler, let's face it. And then, all the EA Sports stuff started happening soon after this. And Sonic the Hedgehog and Mortal Kombat and all kinds of other fun stuff on the Genesis. Oh, come on, I'm just getting trounced.
Tyler Fisher says, when I was a kid, I had a friend who thought Altered Beast was superior to Mario.
Oh, yeah?
It got better graphics than Mario.
Well, yeah, if you came from the NES era, for sure, it was like, oh my god, look at all these colors.
I mean,
look at all that parallax scrolling.
Compared to the very first Mario game, this has better graphics.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot more going on. But one of the things that I definitely noticed as I've been playing these Sega Genesis games is the nuance of the controls was nowhere near what Nintendo was able to offer.
Oh yeah.
It just. They were super cool, and some of them, that's a generalization. Some of the Genesis games are excellent, but there was just this precision and fidelity and gracefulness about the development on the Nintendo machines.
You just have like a 2-headed dog just jumps on you.
Yeah, I know. This is really freaking tough. I think we need to do a 2-player.
Okay.
Join me.
I'm gonna jump in.
Okay.
We don't need to get to the wolf, Vic.
We got to get to the wolf before we're moving on.
I love the transformation of you turning into the wolf.
Yeah, we got to do it.
It looks so awesome. I put it in the thumbnail for the show.
Okay,
but,
press start.
Just start the option button? How did they map it?
Should be there. You're not there? Okay, Hold on one sec. Let's quit. How do we quit?
Hold to exit. Hold the...
Okay, so...
You got a big golden axe in the corner of your TV.
Yeah.
Actually, we have one of those here on the set. We have Kratos' axe somewhere
With the Kratos axe over there, yes.
Yeah.
How do I reboot this thing? I don't know if I can. Okay, now we're playing it on the little TV, which is so cute.
It's weird for us too, because we're looking at this on a TV with that. It's already in a frame, so it's a frame within a frame within a frame for us. So that's a little odd.
Okay, I don't know. I don't know how you join me.
Question from Doi O and Victor Lucas: Do you think? Did you try Nintendo Labo with Ruby yet?
Nope, have not. Stick that back in. Okay, cool. No, I have not. I'm definitely very curious. I'm actually curious to see how they follow the Labo launch up with new stuff. I mean, I haven't heard overwhelming praise around Labo. I heard that it's fun and kind of
here I am.
Nifty. You're both in there. Oh, we're both in there.
I'm the blue guy, I think.
Yeah.
Am I a woman or a man?
I don't know.
What are the controls? I don't know the controls.
They only had 3 buttons, so there was the jump and punch and kick. Ooh,
That's
getting
jump.
big.
That's punch. That's
Look at how
kick.
big I am. Look at how tiny my head is. So I'm absolutely curious
Look at this like upward kick I do when I'm on the
to get Labo. I just haven't said, okay, I want to go and spend $150 to go and buy Labo right now. You know,
it's I'm sure it's a good game, but it's hard for me to justify spending that much money on a piece of cardboard.
Okay, here we go. It's
Yes.
happening.
Why is there?
Yes.
Why didn't we see it though? There's like flame in front
Did
of
you
it.
press a button?
I don't know.
Something weird happened there. Maybe that's one of the emulation quirks. Ooh, he's way faster.
You become the altered beast.
Ooh,
How do we kill this dude?
the Emperor from Return of the Jedi.
Is my amount of clothing like indicating how much health I have? Is that what that? Because I like
Kind of.
lost my shirt. I turned it to William Shatner.
No,
fighting
you
the Gorn.
you're getting bigger. You're too big for your shirt. There you go. Get
Oh, is
that
that it?
Yeah.
Oh, I want these things?
Yeah, get that.
Oh, I was avoiding them.
Get the other one. Then you're gonna be the other wolf.
Oh, I thought I was avoiding them. I thought they were like.
No, you
fire.
want that. Get that. Jump up. Jump up.
Oh, I can jump up there.
Yeah. You'll get another one. We gotta get the
Yeah.
dogs. And this is cool.
Oh, so you kill the dogs and get a thing from
I
the
think
dogs
so,
that
I
turns you
think
into a
so.
wolf? Okay,
There
there
you
we
go.
go. Yeah!
We're altered.
It's just a goofy
You're
looking.
green.
He's like, "Grr." He's like got this weird smile. Now I'm a green wolf. It's awesome.
This is awesome.
We're totally neglecting the chat.
I was stealing all the power-ups, Darren. You're right.
I didn't know those were power ups. I thought they were. Why is this guy not dying from my green thing? I'm throwing green things at this dude.
Invincible.
Is he like the main enemy of the game? Oh my god, he turned into a Satan. He's throwing his head at
This
us.
is just like the Hereditary movie that Johnny and I saw. It's pretty much the same.
He's like, "Do you want some head?" And he throws some heads at you. We're supposed to avoid these things, I take it, right? Oh,
Yeah.
How do you avoid them? Is this like
I don't know.
this is
I'm
like the
already
rock
bored.
monster in Mega
I wanna
Man?
play a different game.
Okay, I think I figured out the timing of.
Okay.
You gotta kind of jump through and then.
Okay, I'm dead.
I suck.
You're dead. All right, let's get out of here. That's
Okay,
enough of that one.
Let's hold. I want to say I think
no
it's
offense
really.
to people that love this. It's like Cuphead, Paul Adamson.
I think it's really cool that Sega did this whole animated dorm room thing.
It's cool. It could be a little slicker. I mean,
But you think most compilations they just give you like a list, right?
Yes.
Here it's like you actually have this
yeah.
cool graphic thing. It's neat.
This is Digital Eclipse, and I'm wondering if it's Mike Micah that put in the extra love and time in this. Okay, so let's go to
Oh, here's a good question from Nintendo Boy 17.
Alien Storm. I want to show this one.
Which is better, Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection or this?
I think this has more games, but I think there was more extras on the Ultimate Sonic Genesis Collection.
Right.
If you already have that, you're probably doing pretty good.
Is this 2-player or 1?
This 2-player.
Okay, so did you want me to keep playing or?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, chat. Question from Vaz Vegas. Do you guys think it's possible Nintendo got the idea for the Switch from the PlayStation TV? Maybe the whole industry's been trending in that direction for a while, right?
I think you could point at that, or you could point at the iPad and Apple TV and iPhone integration that Apple's been doing. I think the games business, we talk about this all the time, is moving more towards accounts rather than hardware. And so I think there's going to be, you're going to be signing up for services basically to. This is such a cool thing.
What am I doing?
We're shooting the bad guys. It's just
Is this
like
a cutscene or?
no, we're in it. We're in the game, man.
Who am I?
Super fast.
Am I the red? I'm the red guy.
Yeah, you're the guy in red. I'm the robot with the
What?
whip.
Okay, what are the controls? So that's to move, but how do I can't move back? What?
So the Switch is definitely just like
Something's
an
wrong here.
extrapolation of why can't you move?
I'm like, it's like there's lag for when I move. Maybe that's intentional. Maybe that's how the game just plays. I don't know.
Well, it's going through the computer and through the.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm confused.
My guy's okay.
Tyler Fisher wants to know if we're going to test out or review that Microsoft's new Xbox controller for disabled gamers or people with limited mobility.
I think that would be cool, but I think the only way to really show that off is to put someone that could really benefit from it on camera and get their opinions on it. I don't know what I would offer.
I was thinking, like, wouldn't it be cool for even just someone who doesn't have motor function problems to you can just plug in and, like, play with your foot? You know what I mean? Like,
just to try, it'll certainly help, like, the speedrunner community,
Yeah, and you can plug in any kind of, like, joystick you want or whatever, right?
I just think that the story is that people that could use the extra sort of attention are getting it, which is great.
Yeah.
You know, I applaud them. And I'm sure the other guys are going to come up with something similar. It's too smart a move.
Yeah, it was really heartwarming when they released that trailer and you see all the people, like,
Yeah.
talking about how they couldn't play games anymore and now they can.
Speaking of games, this is the best video game ever made, I think, right here, right?
Is it?
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know if it's better than Half-Life 2, Vic.
It's pretty much, it is Half-Life 2.
I don't like this control, my red guy.
Look at me, look at how fast I am, I can
Can I try, maybe it's like because you move really fast, so I have to move slow, because I'm carrying a big gun.
Maybe, yeah, I move
not even-
super fast, I have
I'm
a
not
whip
even-
that has, that's...
Can I try
got
your
lightning on
character?
it.
Can we trade controllers? I want
Okay.
to try your guy here.
Alright,
I want to see if it's just me or...
alright. I was the robot. I like being the robot.
What are the... How do I use the whip, though?
X button.
Oh.
These games were made for 3 buttons, man. Simple.
Okay, you gotta
Actually,
just...
some of them were 6 buttons.
It's just getting used to the timing of the...
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty
I do like the robot better, though.
pretty straightforward. And then, were you shooting? Oh, okay, you can roll with this guy too.
I look like the Battlestar Galactica robot.
I know, he's a Cylon. He's amazing.
Or Tin Man or something.
I'm starting
Here,
again.
okay, do you want to trade back, Vic? So you can be the
No, that's
robot?
okay. I have never actually played as this guy. It's fascinating.
Oh, the garbage cans turn into monsters.
Yeah. This is so crazy.
The robot's getting eaten by the thing. I suck at this game, Vic. I'm like bringing shame to my whole family. This like little devil thing.
Look at that, he just puked fire on me. This is freaking amazing.
I suck at this game. Doyon
It's
is asking how is
such a 90s game.
how is this game different than the Sonic collection?
I mean, I didn't look at the Sonic collection before I
think this
jumped
has more games, doesn't it?
in. This has more than 50 games.
Okay.
And the emulation is pretty solid. There's definitely some stuff that's missing. But if you already have the Sonic, because that was a pretty solid one as well. Sega's done this a few
I
times.
blew up. Oh, I picked up my head.
The challenge is, though, I don't think it's backwards compatible on the PlayStation 4. It is on the Xbox One. If you're an Xbox One gamer and have the Xbox 360 disc, you can also get that collection probably for $10 cheaper on. Look at this, so cool.
This is a cool game. I like
the
this.
Microsoft Store than this is because this is a new one. But I think you get more games, and that's the heart of it.
I just wish I didn't suck at this game so bad.
The thing about classic games is that they've all come out. You know, there is a finite amount of them, and they're not going to get better really in new compilations. All they're going to do is offer you more stuff. And I think instead of a lot of extras, a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff, which I think the Sonic game offered a little bit more of that, more details about how these things got made. That's super cool too. But this really doesn't have a lot of that. This is more just about being able to play all these games. Speaking of which, let's play a little Streets of Rage. One of the cool things here is you can, in your games library, which looks like just a bunch of stuff on the shelf, it's weird that there's all this space, right? That just almost says, look, you can download.
That's where you put your Nintendo games in real life.
Well, yeah, or I would like to see the 32X library just open up there.
Maybe that's why they left space. Maybe they're going to add it.
I hope so. That would be great. But let's load in some Streets of Rage. Boom, I like this animation. This is all cool. Could all look a little bit more high fidelity, but it's
There could be
pretty
more
rare.
texture on it.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any
So,
new...
in terms of emulation and stuff like that, I mean, I didn't dig in and get all technical and try to figure out, if pixels were moved over, if music isn't exactly the same. I didn't do like an emulation one-to-one. I would expect that lots of the same people that worked on the Sonic collection worked on this recent Sega collection, and I wouldn't be surprised if Digital Eclipse was a part of that because they do this quite a bit. But I think you got to look at the price to value equation.
Is this the game where they like walk out and punch a woman in the first... What's that game where it's like the first thing that happens is like a guy walks out and hits a woman?
I don't know.
Is that this?
Could be. This is very famous for its combat and very famous for its music and really detailed graphics. So first thing, cop comes in, blasts the environment, but we're good. No, let's.
Am I the guy in the yellow shirt?
Yeah, you're the guy in the yellow shirt.
Oh, what's happening?
Oh.
Chat, what's the game where the woman gets punched in the first, like, 5
There's
seconds?
3 Streets of Rage games.
There's a game like this where it's like a woman gets punched, and it was really, I remember it was like an 80s game, and it was really controversial.
Could it have been Narc? Or...
The chat's gonna tell me.
Okay.
Chat, is it Double Dragon?
Double Dragon?
Is it Double Dragon? I have no idea what I'm doing, Vic. Am I just supposed to punch people?
Yeah.
Why don't I have a gun?
No, this is fisticuffs. This is a beat 'em up.
Was this Double Dragon was turned into a movie, right?
Yeah.
With the T-1000
Yeah.
in it? Yeah. Was this ever turned into a movie?
No.
Okay.
What Sega should do is make a new version of this.
Yeah.
Somebody mentioned that it would be amazing if Rocksteady got the development on a 3D upgrade or a 3D revisit to the Streets of Rage.
Why am I punching you?
Oh, you could beat me up, huh?
Awesome. I'm just gonna do that the whole time.
Okay, cool.
First thing, I gotta fuck up this ginger.
You're gonna beat this ginger up. Bye, redhead. So you're not hearing these bitchin' tunes, but I am.
Okay.
It's awesome. Woo!
Oh, there's a big ginger. Gonna mess this dude up.
Big ginger.
Oh, there's a non-ginger.
I think that's a woman.
We're equal opportunity ass kickers.
I mean, these guys got to go and beat up the gangs.
If they're messing with me, you know, your gender doesn't matter.
All right, we have.
And this telephone doesn't matter either. I'm gonna
No,
fuck this telephone.
go beat the shit out of that
box
telephone.
up.
There it is. There you got some kind of.
Is that, what is that? An ice cream? It looks like a. Oh,
no,
it's
you
a.
got a bat of some kind of a bottle. There you go. A cricket bat.
I like I'm holding it so daintily. Vic, why are you hugging me? I'm trying to.
I don't know.
Here, do you want the bottle?
Woo! Some good wrestling moves. This is amazing.
Yeah, why has this not been remade? Why is this not on the Switch?
Why is this not on the Switch? Indeed. Last month.
Why is everything not on the Switch?
Last month.
Oh, when you break the telephone
Sega
box,
released
you get a...
Streets of Rage 1, 2, and 3 for free for Xbox
Don't hit
Live
me with your
Gold,
pipe.
For Xbox Live Gold members, which is really incredible.
I sent that ginger flying.
Whoosh!
Oh, heel lady.
Classic game. Okay, so we could play this for hours and hours. Comment, beating up your teammate reminds me of classic Gauntlet. Shots do hurt other players. Yeah, that's fun, right? When it gets a little competitive that way, right? When I
gotta Google this thing.
When I played, what the hell, Golden Axe with Johnny, when we tried out the Sega Genesis at games thing, all Johnny did was come after me, which was not cool, but it was fun. Okay, so we played Alien Storm, Altered Beast. Let's check out Comic Zone. This is a classic. Do you remember this game? Did you ever play this one?
Which one?
Comic Zone.
No, I didn't.
And Top Shelf Gaming says the music on all these games are badass. Yeah.
I was a Nintendo kid. I never had a Sega growing up.
Oh, really?
I had a bunch of friends who had them, so I would go to their house and play, but...
I had the Genesis, and then I babysat a kid who had the Super Nintendo, and he had ActRaiser hooked up to a stereo television, and I heard the Super Nintendo stereo music for the first time, and I went, oh my god. And I immediately bought a Super Nintendo after that.
Yeah, it's Double Dragon. The chat was right. Where,
Oh, yeah?
Like, the opening cutscene, a woman just gets, like, punched and taken away, and you gotta go get her.
Ah. Okay, so this is another
Oh,
beat 'em up.
I've played this. I've played this.
And this has been released
is
on
this-
iPhones and everything.
Is this 2-player?
No, it's one player.
Okay, so I get to put the
But
controller down.
it is amazing. I don't know where the... I can't hear the... Or maybe it's coming out of the other speaker. I can't hear the punches.
I think every game should have team kill.
Can you guys hear the punches? See if... ask the chat.
Chat, how does the audio sound? I put up
I hear the
volume.
music, but I don't hear
Do you want me to
the-
go check?
Yeah.
Let me check.
Because we're routing through the Elgato and the computer and the television is coming back to me. All I'm hearing is music. I'm not hearing any of the punches. Okay, good. Okay, good. So this is And I love this game. This is a game that needs to be remade for sure. So all of these enemies that I'm fighting are on comic book panels, as you can tell.
That's cool. I like that aesthetic.
It's such a great idea. And then the hand will come in and draw little elements every once in a while too. This is one of my favorite Genesis games, and it was developed in the United States, unlike most of the software for the platform. Okay.
Tyler Fisher, I have my audio low because the lady is sleeping.
Ah, gotcha.
Or you can put it on headphones. That's what I do.
So I got my rat buddy.
Your rat buddy?
Yeah, I have a little rat buddy that I can send, and then there's these things.
Now here's the question.
Okay.
Did this game ever get turned into an actual comic? Because that would make a lot of sense.
They might have done some promo comics when this thing came out. This was just before we started doing EP for real. You know, it was games like this that were really influential to the original pitch concept of EP.
I like the color.
It's amazing, right?
Yeah, that was my biggest problem with the NES is a lot of the games have a really ugly color palette.
Yeah, well, they didn't have the
yeah, because they didn't have the range. But then you look at like Mario 3. There's a really nice color palette.
Right.
But like the original Castlevania is an ugly game color-wise.
Right. Yeah, and I just bought the Curse of the new one that's based off of Iga's new game there.
Oh,
the Curse of Bloodstain.
Right.
And it's ugly. in keeping with its 8-bit kind of style. But, I mean, ugly, but also beautiful, too.
Yeah, because the NES had, what, like 8 colors? Or 16 colors?
Depending on what era of development. I just read somewhere that people are hacking Super Nintendo cartridges to run on the NES.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Which is pretty rad, right?
The SNES was my system. Like the games from that still look like Super Mario World is one of the best looking games even to this day. Like it's a beautiful game.
Absolutely. I still think it's.
Vic, what would have happened if you kept punching the barrel?
I would have busted it.
Would there be stuff in it?
No.
Oh, you're breaking through the comic panels. That's so cool.
Isn't it great?
That's amazing.
Yeah, I really love this. It's a hard game. You only get one life. It's not long.
So it's like real life.
Yeah.
You only have one life to live.
You only get one. And when you die, you're out. And you can miss those jumps really easily, which I've done millions of times. I've never really gotten too far in this thing, but I just appreciate the aesthetics of it.
Blade Blur is pointing out this was one of the final Genesis games because it came out in 1996. So games that come out at the tail end of a console always look the best because.
Was this in '96? Because we were actively making Electric Playground then. I wonder if they sent this to us. They might have. We did start to get Genesis games, or some of our first games to review. The first game that was ever sent to us to review, this little trivia note, was Samurai Showdown for the 3DO from Crystal Dynamics, who was a publisher back in that time.
This was 95, actually.
95.
You're off by a year, Blade Blur.
Oh, I fell. Okay, that's it. So the hand comes in and I'm dead.
Yeah, because by the end of the console's lifespan, the developers know how to get the most out of the system, right? So
okay, let's check out Landstalker. This was impressive to me when I was going through these games for the review. I had this game, but I think I was well into Super Nintendo and dreaming about the PlayStation era by the time this thing came out.
People are saying what their first consoles were.
Yeah.
Matthew Longo says 3DO was his first console. Tyler Fisher, I think my first console was Atari 2600. The first one I ever played was NES, but the first one I ever owned was the SNES.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because I was born 86, so a little too young to have my own NES.
Oh, okay. What's happening here?
Oh, this is cool.
Yeah, it's really neat. It's like a little bit like Marble Madness meets...
like Q-Bird or something.
Yeah. Oh, and this is the cool thing. There's a fast forward option, so I can zip through all of these credits and all that stuff if I want to, which is pretty darn cool.
Can you rewind the actual game once you start playing?
You can rewind and start and fast forward, I think, everywhere within the game, which is pretty cool.
That's the coolest thing about the SNES and NES classics is that you can save at any point you want.
Yeah.
And on the SNES, you can rewind and fast forward.
Yeah.
It really helps with the harder games.
Okay, let's go. I can't skip this, huh?
Blade Blur's first console was the Mega Drive. Well, that's what this is, right?
Yep.
The Genesis is the Mega Drive. They just different names.
There was the Sega Master System was the machine before this that was directly competing with the NES, but did not do well.
My first was ColecoVision, says Doi Owen. What was that one that came out in like the early 70s? We did it this
Odyssey.
day. Yeah, the Magnavox Odyssey.
Yeah.
And you had to put the gels on the TV screen to make it look like the actual game.
Yeah, that might have been the Odyssey 1.
Yeah,
I
there was
think
one
the
in
Odyssey
like
2 was
73. I remember I showed the commercial for the This Day.
Right.
And it's like you had to put a gel on the screen, the TV screen, to make it look like what it was supposed to look like.
My family had Pong. We got the Pong system where you'd toggle some switches and it would be hockey Pong and then it would be basketball Pong. I don't know why I can't skip this. Okay, here we go. I should have saved where I got to. Let's go. 2,000 golds. That's awesome. Okay, I can control this now. Okay, so I'm gonna talk to this lady. Okay, I cannot. Okay, so let's go in here. Let's start our adventure.
Yeah, like the very first Odyssey, you had to put like a gel on your TV because it was just light
Oh, okay.
squares.
Okay.
So you had to put a gel to make it look like a thing.
That's very Vectrex-like.
Yeah.
The Vectrex was a pretty incredible system. I have one of those. I bought it from a now dead department store chain called Eaton's. When Milton Bradley had all but gone out of business with this stuff. And that launched at like $400 Canadian, the Vectrex, and I couldn't afford it, so I bought it when the company died, and I bought it for $90. And then at one of the classic gaming expo things, I was able to buy all the games on one cartridge kind of thing, which I don't know if it was legal, but they were selling them there. So I have a whole bunch of classic Vectrex games.
Paul,
It'd be fun to figure out a way to stream some of those.
you probably do it. Get a little converter box or something.
Well, it's its own built-in little vector machine.
Oh, there's no output out of it? Oh,
No.
Okay.
So we'd have to frame up a camera to shoot it, which we could do.
Paul Adamson, no, Aladdin is not in this collection.
No, and that's one of the problems with this collection is that there aren't any of the licensed titles. I mentioned I don't know if it made it into the review, but I mentioned the Batman and Robin cartridge that Sega made, which I wasn't a huge fan of because it was just a silly kind of beat 'em up in a shooter. But in retrospect, it's kind of nice to see that because it had the art style of the animated series.
Right.
But they don't have anything like that. They didn't have the Garfield game, which was really good for the Genesis that Sega made.
Yeah, I remember that Aladdin game. That was one
Aladdin
of the
was
games I
awesome.
played at a friend's house who had the Genesis. That was a great game.
I'm pretty sure that's the game that Shiny made, that Tommy worked on.
Yeah, someone in the chat, I think it was Doyo, pointed out that Tommy
And
did the music for it.
Tommy did the music, and David Perry and the Shiny Entertainment team before they made Earthworm Jim, which is also another incredible Genesis cartridge that should have been on this collection too. Maybe that's what the the empty shelf space is for.
They're still working out the licensing deals.
Maybe.
They're gonna add it as
why
DLC.
wouldn't they want to do that, right?
Yeah.
It's a new era. But now what's weird is that Sega keeps doing this, like, okay, now we have a console that you're going to buy, right? And that's going to launch later this year too.
Yeah. Well, they're just trying to catch up with what Nintendo's doing with the NES Classic, right?
Well, I like the idea of opening the door to allowing partners to augment those. You know, even if you got to sell them, I think people would buy these things at $3 or $5 or $10 if the game.
Could you imagine if the SNES and NES Classics had, first of all, been available to buy in stores and not sold out in 5 seconds,
Yeah.
but if they had a Wi-Fi connectivity built in,
Yeah.
and then Nintendo could sell all your other old games for $5 a pop,
Yeah.
how much money Nintendo would have made?
So I'm already stuck. I forget what I did to get past this, but I got past this.
It's always tricky with the faux 3D
Yeah.
in these older games to know like where you're going. And
I think this is really impressive, though. You know, like it's got a bit of a Zelda kind of vibe. And the art and the pixels, the sprites are huge on this. I love it. Okay. Well, that's a little tiny taste. I want to get through a couple more of these games.
let's try the original Sonic. Because
Okay.
that you can't go wrong with Sonic.
No.
Unless you're Sega, and then you can go wrong with Sonic a lot.
when you try to go 3D. Should Konami remake Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater? That's the rumor, Spider-Man, at the PlayStation conference. I don't know if you saw there was a leaked...
Yeah, we talked about it yesterday.
There's a leaked picture of what's going to be at the Sega conference.
Is this... I can't remember. Is there two-player
No,
co-op at the same time?
one player.
When do you play as Tails?
Not on the first one.
Oh.
This was the This was the big dilemma. So I'm in for a remake as long as Metal Gear 3 is as good a remake as Shadow of the Colossus. So not just up-resing existing, but actually going in and making 4K graphics around the original art. Yoji Shinkawa?
Yeah.
Yeah, incredible.
Didn't we have? Yeah, we had sushi with him when we did the Metal Gear Dog, right?
Yeah, good guy.
Shinkawa-san. That was an expensive sushi restaurant.
Yeah, there's nothing cheap in Tokyo, man.
It's almost as bad as living in Vancouver.
I know, right? Uh-oh.
How did you not die when you landed?
I
on
have.
Oh, you got your star power.
Yeah.
Vic, why aren't you doing the circle
You
go
can't.
really
You
fast?
can't do the dash in the first game.
What?
Yeah, they introduced it later.
Okay,
I
I'm
was
not a
trying to do
Sonic
that. I
expert.
was trying to do that.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking of. Is that?
Yeah. Yeah, the audio's all screwed up for me here. I don't know how it's sounding to you guys.
How's the audio sound, people?
I'm getting like half of the music.
I guess I'm gonna just turn this up. Sounds fine to me on this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I probably just caused the worst echo of all time. Sorry, chat. I really like the design of Sonic.
Oh, it's amazing.
He's so cute, like, when he does that, and when he does this. I guess they designed him to be, like, the radical, in-your-face version of Mario. Because all the advertising was based around making him cooler than Mario.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's like Poochie. He's proactive.
Well, they got me, man, because I mean, the Genesis came out before the Super Nintendo did, for starters. But the NES, I actually didn't get that until, because I was already in university when the NES came out, and I was, you know, a major in theater and a minor in
You just
English.
really dated yourself, Vic.
Yeah, I've been around for a long time. But I wasn't gaming as much. I didn't have the time, didn't have the money, didn't have the freedom to do it. But when I got out, I was like, I'm getting back in. I love games. I'm doing this, and I bought the NES towards the end of its lifespan and thought it was great. Loved River City Ransom, and then the Genesis advertising came out. And it was like, holy crap! Look at these games. It totally blew my mind. So I bought that, and I was living with a bunch of roommates. And we played this together, and we were all like singing the song together and passing the controller around. And incredible memories. Genesis was awesome. But then, yes, everything did change with the Super Nintendo. It's a better platform.
I think we sometimes forget just how cool the N64 was. I guess there were other 3D consoles too, like the
PlayStation and Saturn.
But the N64 for me, like playing GoldenEye multiplayer and just like
Oh yeah, totally.
it was so cool to be able to do that.
Vos Vegas asks,
console.
have we ever done anything with EXP before what we're going to do next week? I have done a couple of events there before and had some great times with those people. Brian Vidovich, I think is how you say his last name. Known him for a long time. He's a great guy. And I've wanted that place to be very successful. And they've been able to be around for a long time, which is tough in any business. And so I'm psyched that we're going to go down there. We've heard good things about the new menu that they've got cooking up.
They're making their own menu of items just for our events.
And they're going to do something
that we're
like
streaming.
that too, yeah, which is amazing.
That's so cool, yeah. They're going to have special items and stuff.
Oh, I have
That's
it,
pretty
yeah.
cool of them. So yeah, if you're in, I mean, anybody can watch it, but if you're in the Vancouver area, if you want to come physically there and join us, that'd be awesome.
I did save. Oh, you know what? I keep thinking I saved it on my other PlayStation 4.
Oh, really? It doesn't sync?
No, that's why. Okay, so this is developed. This is Light Crusader, and this is developed by Treasure.
This is one of the ones you
I've never even
mentioned.
heard about this. Yeah, this is one of the ones
Mentioned
I
this in your
mentioned
review,
in,
yeah.
in the review, and it's so cool. Okay.
And we should say the only press conference we're not streaming is Nintendo, because we're gonna literally be on an airplane during their press conference. So I remember last year we got off the plane and I turned my internet on and it was like, oh, Metroid Prime 4 was announced. Cool.
Yeah.
So
Comment, Sonic Genesis on GBA put in Spin Dash, but don't bother with that version. However, the Sega 3D Classics collection on 3DS did the same and is playable.
oh, so they actually retroactively put the feature into the old game?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Who else really misses the series icons from G4? We need more shows like that. That and EP gave me such a behind the mask feel to game makers. Tyler, that's a fantastic comment. I've got, I'm talking with some publishers about doing some documentary stuff. I don't know if it's going to happen. I think what happened with YouTube and Twitch and stuff is that a lot of game makers decided that they could just make their own video content in-house. And so we were doing tons and tons of docs with partners. But that kind of went away a little bit.
Dried up, yeah.
YouTube and Twitch and Facebook started putting so much video. But I feel like there is, again, more of an appetite because of exactly what you're talking about. We need to kind of editorialize these stories and get in and show these people and create content and information about who is making these incredible games. And so, keep your fingers crossed. I'm hoping that we're going to have some EPN created docs for some cool games this year. We did some fun stuff working with Nintendo last year. I'm really proud of the Metroid piece that we put together with those guys. If you haven't checked that out, please do. We'll put a link in the description below. But we have a whole documentary playlist, and we've done some amazing projects over the years that it's been an honor for us to be able to do a lot of that stuff. Now, this game is another sort of isometric action RPG, so you can hack and slash and jump, and you can go and talk to all the townsfolk.
And there's the point of this, there's a lot of humor in it, you were saying?
Yeah, I mean, I have to find the lady, but I found this lady in this town who wanted to show me her skills as a musician. And it's just hilarious.
I like how you're walking around with your sword out. That's pretty dangerous.
Yeah.
You could smack someone with that.
I think something extraordinary is going on. So people have gone missing.
That's the cool thing about these collections is you discover awesome games that you missed.
Yeah.
Like what was that RPG on the NES Classic? The Ocean Oasis?
Oh, yeah.
You know the one I mean?
Yeah.
Like I played that. I can't remember what it's called, but I'm going to find out the name right here.
It's great.
While I look for the name, I have a question. It's a good one from Scottish Japanese Forever.
Okay.
Vic, best video game movie in your opinion?
Best video game movie? Oh, man. There was one or two of those Resident Evil movies that I didn't hate. I actually thought the Tomb Raider movie this year was pretty solid.
Yeah, there's a couple of watchable Resident Evil movies.
Yeah. So she's terrible. She can't play this. You can't hear it, but the first time I heard it, I was busted out.
Well, I cut the review, and it's in the review. I gotta find out the name of this game that I like. I like it so much I can't remember. Star Tropics. I never even heard of Star Tropics, and then I played it on the NES Classic. So that's kind of what this is, I guess.
He's totally dancing, too. That's the way he's breathing, but it's so funny, man. I love it. And she's like, I'm not that talented. It's just epic. That made me howl. Treasure's got a sense of humor around all this stuff. Okay. So
Spider-Man. Spider-Man is in the chat. It's pretty cool.
Spider-Man. I love it.
Comment, what was your guys' opinion when Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate was announced for the Switch in the West?
I think it's great.
Smart idea.
That was an awesome 3DS title. And not as, I think, inclusive and expansive as Monster Hunter World.
Yeah, that might be a problem, right? Because there's all these new fans because of World, and then they're going to jump into this more hardcore one.
It's still super playable. It just feels a little, feel a little dated, but it's still super playable. It's so refined. They made so many variations and iterations of Monster Hunter. The last few on 3DS have been incredible.
I have my theory that
this moves, and then I can go down here, so I can sneak in this. So I'm in this great. It's such a cool game.
I think that part of the reason why the new Pokemon games for the Switch are more less hardcore and more accessible.
Yeah.
A lot of that has to do with the success, the Pokemon Go, but also the success of Monster Hunter World. Because that game has done so much better than any of the other Monster Hunter games.
Right.
I think a lot of other publishers, particularly Japanese ones, are going to look at that and go, okay, let's try to do the same thing with our franchise.
I think they're trying to cash in on the accessibility of Go as well.
Yeah, that's definitely...
And trying to sort of model their console game off of a mobile type of experience to see if players will make that, gravitate to that. Do you think without the AR piece in the Switch game? Is that going to hurt it at all?
It'll definitely have better battery life. I don't think that's a problem.
I think a lot of people probably turn that off, right?
Yeah, the AR is a cool novelty, but you don't need it to make the game good.
This game is a trip. I'd never heard of it. I'd never played it. So happy to have discovered it.
It's cool.
It's really cool. And one of the things that's pretty amazing about this too is the control on the analog thumbstick is pretty fluid for a game that was made for digital controls in the 90s, right?
Yeah.
Solid.
Tyler Fisher says that Star Ocean has a new game coming for Stupid Mobile.
Maximum life.
Like you can just push objects. By
Yeah.
sort of
You do that with the cows.
Yeah, that's just so funny.
So this is just fantastic. Oh, I'm dead. Oh, ooh, jump. Ooh, ow, ouch. Free this person.
Nintendo Boy wants to know who, other than us, what are your favorite YouTube review shows, Vic?
I think Johnny does an incredible job with Happy Console Gamer, and I'm a big fan of Re-Rez as well.
If you want to know about Dragon Ball Z, subscribe to Bear's channel.
Oh, Dragon Ball Fighters.
The new Fighter Z.
Baruti, who is going to be joining us on EP Live next week. That's the one thing I didn't mention, is that Baruti is going to come and be my co-host and my buddy on camera, and we might have some other surprises.
And hopefully all of you will be joining us too.
Yes. Johnny won't be there though, because he's going to be doing Happy Console Gamer, live, or some pretty massive coverage of E3.
I think you're supposed to avoid those spikes.
I know. I was talking and thinking. I like JKB as well. He's always been super sweet to us, and he's a super dedicated YouTuber out there. I love the kind of funny guys. I like what Giant Bomb is doing. They don't really kind of classify themselves as YouTubers, but there's tons of great people out there, man.
Blade Blur, favorite Treasure game, Vic? You talked about Treasure earlier in the show.
Gunstar Heroes. So that's what we're going to play right now. And this was their first game, I believe. And I hope you guys have played this game. It's incredible. All right.
Has Vic ever played Maximum Carnage? That's a question
Super
from
Nintendo.
That's a question from Travis Lawson.
I'm sure I have, but I don't think it resonated with me because I was yet to become a big Spider-Man fan when that came out. I was a DC guy. I was reading the Batman comics and the DC comics and stuff. You want to jump in with me?
Oh, is it two-player?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Oh, wait a sec. What happened? I think you pressed a button.
What do I do?
I don't know how to get back.
Isn't that the guy who made Mega Man?
Oh no,
shoot.
not that.
Oh no. What are we doing? Oh no.
Pressing everything. Stop. Okay.
Okay, there we go.
Let's restart this thing. It should be easier to be able to go back to the beginning, but you can't. Okay. Don't press anything until we're ready to go.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, here we go. Gunstar Heroes Treasure. 2 players.
Oh, Scottish Japanese Forever says, Vic, I suggest you do a buried treasure on the PS1 game Jersey Devil.
Jersey Devil. Okay.
I remember that game. I remember the commercial for it when it came out. Because it was kind of a Spyro-looking game.
So,
okay, now you want me to?
Yep,
what do you want me to do?
Pick your character and pick your thing.
Fixed
and then
shot,
press the
free
circle
shot.
button.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, Jersey
Take it
Devil.
easy, Las Vegas. Thanks for joining us, buddy.
Jersey Devil was kind of a Spyro game, Spyro-esque game, I think.
Okay.
I could be wrong. I remember the commercial.
I think we have to find Maximum Carnage and try to find a way to stream that sucker, don't we?
Which one am I? Am I the blue guy or the blue guy?
You're blue.
Okay, which one? Which of the 2 blue guys am I?
There's an opportunity, is a Marvel Classic Games compilation.
Oh yeah, that's a nightmare though, legally.
But that's what they should do. Just get through it, man. Like, Nintendo was able to license all of their third-party, or a bunch of them, for their 2 classic collections. Imagine a Marvel shaped console of some kind that allows you to play all of the old 8-bit, 16-bit, and early stuff. It'd be so cool.
They
Who
really
wouldn't want that.
They really needed to make these characters look more distinct because I keep looking at your guy, confusing the two. I think I'm the dark blue one, right? Am I the dark blue one?
Yeah, you're the guy with blue shoulder pads.
Okay, they both have blue shoulder pads.
No,
That's the problem.
No, my guy's got red ones.
Oh.
Are you colorblind?
See, I can't even see that. No, but I can't even see the shoulder pads. It's so tiny.
Okay.
They should have like the whole costume should be a different color.
I'm kicking ass. I don't know what you're doing. I'm having.
I don't know what I'm doing either. Why is this a giant sandwich in the middle of the thing? What is this thing?
Sandbags, bud.
It looks like a sandwich. I have no idea what I'm doing there. I'm sorry.
You're doing great.
Why do we keep throwing each other when we...
That's part of the two-player charm. So I believe, if I read my Wikipedia correctly,
it's a caterpillar.
This was the first game that Treasure shipped. And boy, did they come out strong. This is considered one of their classics, if not their best one. Ikaruga is another one that people hold to a deserved high regard.
Look at this. We have the same haircut and everything.
I know, man.
That's lame.
I think you could have chose a different character. I'm not sure.
It gave me. I think it gave me an option of that.
Okay. Well,
okay, I really suck at this game, Vic.
You're alive. We're good.
I'm alive. I haven't died yet.
We're good, man. The fun's just begun.
And I hate that I keep grabbing you every time I cross you, because it's, like, annoying.
You guys tell me some of your favorite YouTubers, whether you're watching the live or the archive. Let me know some of the other channels that you love checking out. There's tons of them out there, and my mind went blank there, trying to think of other ones, but always happy to check out other people's work and
oh my god,
see what
I
people
suck
are
so
up to.
bad at this game. Are we supposed to just kill these things?
Yeah,
How long is
this?
this?
It's just like a mini boss kind of deal.
Okay.
Trust me, it gets really cool. And the weapons are awesome in this game. Oh, you know what we gotta do is we gotta kill this plant.
How do we kill the plant?
You gotta shoot at the plant. There we go. If you press the square button, you select between your two different weapon types. There we go.
Oh, the plant exploded.
As they do.
I love it when plants explode in real life. Isn't that like the greatest thing?
Get 'em!
Okay, so am I dead?
Press start.
Do I have to?
No, you don't have to. You can
I'm gonna look at the chat.
See if there's any questions or comments.
I suck so bad at this game, I feel like I'm dragging you down.
Oh, it's a thing of beauty, this game.
Oh, Nintendo Boy says
Love
his favorite YouTuber, Angry Video Game Nerd. Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, he's great, yeah.
He's funny, yeah. Angry Joe.
I like Angry Joe, too. Straight up.
LRG, I don't know what that is.
Nope.
LRG, is that a?
Don't know.
I'm not a hip kid anymore. At Shield, I don't know who that is. No one said PewDiePie, so that's a good thing.
I don't.
Nobody
does he
likes.
really do video game stuff?
Doesn't he? Does? Yeah, he streams games.
Does he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like PewDiePie,
But
so I'm glad no one has mentioned him.
He's more about how famous he is now than anything.
Yeah. Well, he still streams games, because I know
Okay.
whenever he gets in trouble, it's when he's streaming a game and says
Okay.
something stupid.
Okay. I guess it's games are a way to just
LRG is Lazy Game Review.
lazy game.
I should check. I've never heard of that. Maybe I should check it out. I'm all about the lazy.
Is it LGR or LRG?
Oh, I must have read it wrong.
Okay.
Oh no, they wrote it wrong up
Okay.
top. Doyle wrote it wrong.
All right. So this had some polygonal types of creations as well, blowing people's mind. I think they were polygonal.
Hold down the fire button, Vic. You don't need to keep tapping it.
Just hold it down.
Yeah, someone said. Mondo Blasto says hold down the fire button.
Okay. All right.
Maybe it just auto fires. That way you don't have to keep tapping it.
I don't have much health. I don't know how much longer.
Okay, let me jump back in.
Good.
Yeah, you can just hold down the fire button. You don't need to keep tapping. You can just hold it down.
Okay.
Am I dead? Where am I?
I'm dead.
Okay.
All right, so that was Gunstar Heroes.
So I suck at Gunstar Heroes.
I think there was one more we didn't play in the.
What's the one big one we haven't played?
I think I picked out most of the big ones. We got Rystar.
Go through all of them. Let's see what there is.
Okay, well, there's Golden
We didn't
Axe,
do Golden Axe. We didn't do Phantasy Star.
Beyond Oasis, Crackdown, Decap Attack, Dynamite
SWAT.
Heady.
We didn't do that. E-SWAT we didn't do.
Um,
We already did a Sonic.
I don't know if people have played Vector Man. I don't know how popular these things were, but this is an amazing game series too. Vector Man 1 and 2. This came out towards the end of the Genesis lifespan.
What are your favorite non-game YouTube channels and or non-movie YouTube channels as well?
I like Red Letter Media. They're funny.
Yeah, they're a movie channel though.
Yeah.
Right?
Non-media YouTube channels.
Yeah.
I still check out Casey Neistat's stuff all the time. I think he's great. And I check out a lot of camera reviews and stuff that I think are pretty solid as well.
I follow a lot of political ones.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember this game. Didn't we play this on the on this thing? The Sega Genesis
We might have.
thingy?
Yeah.
This looks familiar.
Yeah, I love this game.
Oh, Gaming Historian is a good channel. Yeah,
Yeah.
I follow them. They're good. They do like really good pre-cut videos.
Johnny's been in the YouTube community for like more than 10 years, I think. And he's always listing off like Metal Jesus and stuff like the people that he knows personally and
Metal Jesus?
Yeah.
That's an awesome name.
He's always dropping these names of different channels and sites and stuff like that I need to check out. I do check stuff out every once in a while for sure, but you know, I get pretty busy with the content that we're building.
Well, that's cool. The clay monster or whatever that is.
Yeah, I love this series.
This is beautiful with the flags and everything.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
It's great.
This was towards the end, and they did a huge contest. I think they were giving away $1 million or something like that to kind of promote this thing. And then a sequel came out, and then they never did anything with Vector Man ever again. Sega has so many brands and so many IP, and unlike Nintendo, who finds a way to kind of work their stuff back in all the time, they just drop them like hot potatoes.
Well, Sega's not as big as Nintendo, right?
No, not anymore. But honestly, they got huge. You know, they were a huge hardware manufacturer, and like I think every single one of these games, there's 50 of them on here, and this is indicative of all the games they released for the Genesis. But they published almost all of these, if not every single one of them. That's impressive as hell.
Yeah.
You know, that's a lot of games to get out to market, to publish, and to pay for, and to you know, get into people's hands. So very cool. Would love your ideas and thoughts.
Are we done?
I think that's it. I think that's
it?
a good taste of some Sega Genesis fun. Can't recommend this collection enough. It's super cool. But if you already have one, you probably have a lot of these games already. Or if you bought this at games thing like I did, you have tons of games. The one thing about
Sega
classic,
has another one of these coming out.
and
soon,
they have
right?
another one coming out for sure. What
bye,
I said
everyone.
in my review though about being able to just go right to my PlayStation 4 hard drive and just load all that stuff up, love it, because I'm not always going to want to go and dig around and find cartridges or find a game disc to be able to play some of these classic games and just jump right in and be inspired and have those flashback kind of memories as well. Had a ton of fun this week, and we're going to be back with more EP Lives next week. We've got a classic episode of Electric Playground. It's episode 13 of our 4th season, dropping this weekend, so stay tuned for that. And then next weekend, we are going to be live at EXP, so please come and join us if you can. If you're in the Vancouver area, EXP is on Pender Street, and I tweeted out and Instagrammed out the times that we're going to be there. So there's going to be a lot of content coming, a lot of E3 content, and of course we're going to E3 and collecting a lot of interviews and hands-on videos and stuff like that. But thank you so much for watching, everybody. Thank you for your support, and remember, we've got lots of content for you to enjoy. Please go around at our channel and check them out, and if you dig it, hit subscribe, that little bell, and if you're so inclined, that sponsorship button too. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you very soon.